Jade is all too familiar with the problem of drug use at school. She says it nearly ruined her life.
It was scary. I could have lost everything, you know. I would have just sat in my room for the rest of my life doing drugs, and that isn't a life that I want to live. I'm a teenager. I'm meant to be out there enjoying my life, and you can't when you're smoking weed all the time. It's just not going to happen.
Now Sky News has obtained figures suggesting Jade's story is far from isolated. 1,149 pupils have been caught with drugs at UK schools in the past 3 years, most of them with Class B, although 27 were found with Class A drugs. 93 pupils were charged for drug offences over the 3 years, including 6 at primary schools. The figures come from 32 of the UK's 44 police forces and do not include some of the largest, such as the Met and Greater Manchester Police. At this London school, there's recognition that drug abuse is a problem the most privileged pupils are equally likely to encounter.
Quite daunting, the fact that I could be offered drugs over the next 3 to 5 years, and just, it sort of leads me to think, what will I say? Will I be pressured?
Headteacher Godwin says drug education, in line with government policy to reduce demand for illegal substances, is critical.
We live in a society where you speak to a lot of teenagers. They're in situations where they know that there are drugs available. I think the key is not to lose sight of constantly educating the pupils.
And there's concern that the age at which children are using drugs is getting younger and younger. At this cannabis factory, dealers admitted supplying to primary school-aged children.
Young people, school kids, down to primary school kids.
This charity, which works with vulnerable children, is increasingly encountering younger drug users.
What we're now seeing is that 8, 9-year-olds are beginning to smoke weed, and skunk, and then they go on to harder stuff later on, a lot of them.
There's real concern about the impact drugs are having on all aspects of children's lives. And as the new figures prove, school is no exception. Afua, Hirsch, Sky News.